Welcome to the quarterfinals of the SpyParty Summer Cup. My name is Deboshi. I'm joined today by Pwned Noob.
Howdy.
And we've got Legorv Janine as our host and observer tonight. It's gonna be a fun one. We've got a couple of great matches for you. First off is going to be Beanie versus Adafheyesh. And after that, the god himself, Opie goes up against Death Tacticus.
It should be good matches. I think both sets of opponents are evenly matched against each other. I'd say if you had to choose favorites, maybe Beanie and Obi Rights, but there's soft favorites. And it's the quarterfinals. So anybody who's gotten here has proven themselves worthy.
Oh yeah.
None of these players have actually lost a game so far. We're going to be starting off with Adafheyesh versus Beanie. Looking at their previous results, Adafheyesh has a pretty good resume already. He tied Rov, who's also in the quarterfinals, beat Grash, Manators, and Rhythmic Sheep, among others, to get to the finals. A lot of close games, and that's also true for Beanie. They had a pretty interesting group with David W, Wobble, and Tabsies. And they got out of that group. They've also had a win against Miniarek, who was incredibly hot before Beanie stomped them down. So both players are playing well. They've had a lot of close games. And we really don't have much more to say. There's no picks and bans, right? With the Summer Cup, the map's already
no
performed.
picks and bans indeed. We've got a set of venues. Quarterfinals goes like this, as you can see on the screen, starting with Gallery, Modern Tan, Library, Veranda, and Ballroom. And as is tradition, if we need to have overtime, it's simply Infinite Balcony.
Yep, Infinite Balcony means they could be here for quite a while, and I think they are pretty evenly matched. I wouldn't be too surprised if we are seeing Ballroom, potentially seeing Balcony, just based on their skill levels. But we have some big maps, actually. We have Gallery, Library, Modern, and Veranda. We are all four of the biggest maps in the game, I would say.
Yeah, there's going to be some very long paths tonight. It's going to be a fun one to watch, to be sure. Without any further ado, I think it's time to get into the first one. Beanie starting things out on the Spy side of Gallery. Any 4 of 8 against Adafheyesh's Sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Drink in hand, no shenanigans, and our seduction target is potentially coming our way. Nope,
It
absolutely
looked like
not.
it for a moment. Unfortunately got bounced away. Might be able to sneak in. No, unfortunately didn't grab the drink, so we weren't able to get a cheeky flirt in while he was slaking his thirst. But luckily does follow us to the outside conversation, so we're able to pick up 34% off the first flirt anyways.
Based on the path of the seduction target, I think we actively took their spot in conversation because they made a little juke there, and we're quickly out of it. We are
That was a
pretending to
nice
redirect
little
and ending it.
briefcase redirect to pick up this. Ooh,
We're really baiting for a low light. Beanie's either done some research into Adafheyesh's previous play, and there is quite a lot of it. We just had 4 or 5 sets prior to this, or is just doing something to make an excuse for how they're able to get 2 flirts off quickly, now 85% in pocket.
and having the second flirt off pretty quick is very nice to have on this venue, because sometimes that selection target is just very, very uncooperative at the worst possible times. So having that insurance flirt already up to 85%, very nice. Fingerprint off the briefcase out front as well. Very possible we just weren't seen out there at all.
Yeah, it's a lovely thing about Gallery with the early briefcases and flirts is they're more likely to not be seen. We do also know where the fingerprint that we want is in the future. It's both of these statues. Ambassador's done them back to back.
And that's flirt done at the painting as well.
Yeah, we're in a great position here. One thing I would like to see here is potentially just getting the inspect, knowing that we're going to be getting the fingerprints in the future. But I think we're going to do double agent in the contact mission here first. It's not a great contact if we do it now. The SDA is out, and this conversation could fill up a little bit more.
Yeah, it looks like Beanie's trying to hold on as long as possible. Now that Pearls has bailed on us, I think it is unlikely we hit that right click here. But it's possible now that the conversation out front is filling up, but people just keep moving in and out so much, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Purloin instead, green test there. We'll see how this gets handled. There's the
Banana bread to
contact trying to
cover.
distract from the list. Lowlight's coming off, but that is not the story of the moment.
To note, both of the prints that were put on statues are
Oh,
difficult
oh,
prints
oh,
now.
just saw General take and now the list is gone. I don't think he noticed beforehand. That might really throw him off the trail here.
Yeah, we could win on a difficult print. We could always go out and get a briefcase too. But both the statues the ambassador went to early are going to be difficult. This could be a bit stressful, and what Beanie's fourth mission, if he doesn't get the print, is definitely a choice. He could do something like swap in a bit of panic, or do a bug, but it's unlikely he's going to be completing something like inspects here. Ambassador going to the blue bookcase gives us a third option. I think that's really good for Beanie's chances, given that they're not already highlight too.
I think so too. 35 seconds to play, but he's in all likelihood not going
Oh
to need
no!
that time.
General's taken one of the statues, and the ambassador walked away with the book. There's only one print left on the board, as far as I know, that isn't the briefcase, and it's the statue furthest away from us. We're making our way towards it. No, we're going to this statue, and it's going to
10
be potentially a
seconds.
swap, back
I'm
facing.
scared. Swap.
Lasers
Swap it
rotating a little
is.
bit.
Back turned. Not displaying the statue out the side. Can't get a good look at it. There is a moment. 1 second. Unable to get the shot away in time, even though he caught the swap at the last moment. Beanie takes game number one in dramatic fashion.
Safety off, just could not get a view on it. Toby doing a little bit of work there right at the end. Thank you, Toby. Really, I think the big thing here from a strategy point is just how quickly we did the white test. If we
Yeah.
had stood around and waited uh, doing the animation or trying to go for a green test, I think we would have been shot just simply by the fact that we didn't have enough time to see the
Any in the
statue.
red.
Um,
Even
General maybe
half a
even
second
helping out.
longer would have
Like,
done it.
yeah, safety was off on our head. Uh, this is really tilting. If you're Adafheyesh and you come through and you found the spy but not made the shot, this could be a real mindset changer. To either make them more grizzled and go, okay, I need to make a comeback, or this could just be this beginning of a Beanie sweep if this just gets under his nerves too much. So I'm interested to see our next game, and whew, if it's anything like this last game, we've got a full set ahead of us, Tobo.
I am already stressed as Ada steps into the spy side. Beanie on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, because it's the quarterfinals, every set here in the quarterfinals is going to be casted. So the quality of the games, I mean, they should be high quality, right? All the players have made the quarterfinals, but we might see some sweeps. We might see some just really silly games where someone does a red test. Not that those aren't entertaining in themselves.
Point is,
That was so exciting, and it's always
sets
lovely
we
to cast with you,
expect to
Tobo.
be high quality just by virtue of they're in the quarterfinals now, but are not curated like many of the other casts are.
Oh yeah,
34% off the top of the game from the close white flirt on the outside conversation. It's not a super fast start, but it doesn't really need to be.
yeah. We saw Beanie in this situation walk away immediately. At been a bit more respectful and is just waited till the end of their animation. At the front of the the front of the party for gallery, it's definitely something that you can do. You can also just go to the window pads and try and do another quick flirt. And this is the reason why you want to be a bit quick about it. Could definitely bug here. We decided not to. I think the sniper would have been on it, and the angle that we took at the ambassador was very much to try and avoid looking like we were ever bugging in the first place.
Yeah, the timing on that zoom out was quite nice.
This conversation's very full, but there's no double agent in this conversation. Ambassador is baiting us. Here could definitely bug. We could definitely do like a double walking bug would be interesting, but it's always a bit harder when you have Taft because he is actually the fastest character in the game despite his big frame.
Yeah, you kind of have to have an awareness of when exactly he's going to leave and sort of get out in front of him and wait for him to catch up to you. Time ad, though. white test on that. Ada knew they were a little bit behind the curve, so decided to add a little bit more time to that clock in between the the seduction target and the ambassador. Double agent also in conversation, so very full here. Double agent steps away, but we are able to get that close green on the second flirt, which brings us up to 85%. 2.5 minutes to play.
I think we were just out of the bug range. Not that it matters anymore. Ambassador is going to the bookcase. We could definitely do something like grab the briefcase and the book in one visit. If we wanted to just finish fingerprints really quickly, it's going to be hard to finish fingerprints on gallery because it's such a big map if you don't start right about now.
Oh, that's a
Oh.
pretty bug, though. Ambassador coming around the conversation in the back. We get a beautiful reverse drive-by with the arm facing away from the sniper. You love to see stuff like that. 2 minutes to play. Bug done.
Two
Flirt
missions
done
done.
now, too, so that's halfway there.
Yeah, that's precisely why you stand in this spot. We may have been here because the ambassador was here prior, but this is probably the most dangerous spot on gallery, and you don't really get given more suspicion. You're not going to get a highlight for just standing in this spot by basically anybody.
Into statues we go to pick up a pair of inspects.
This
Gives
could
us
set
the
up for
option
inspect
of an
swap.
inspect swap late in the game if we need it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I love inspect swap, but it did work last game, so can't hate on it too much.
Last game didn't even need the inspects, just needed the swap.
Oh yeah, true. And we didn't get a highlight. That's actually really bad for Beanie's win chances. I know it might not be highlighting for statues at all, but just having the highlight would make what is likely to be an inspect swap here. We
That
don't have
statue is statue,
contact
so it
done.
doesn't look like he wants to swap it.
Yeah,
Does
it's
get a
also not
highlight for
shifting.
the second set of inspects. So that's 3 missions done. Double agent still available. 40 seconds left to play, and double agent right here and ready to go.
Yeah, this is where a green BB might actually be the difference here. A white BB might just be the
Banana
shot
bread.
to the
It's
head.
green.
Low lights
It's
are
low
coming off.
lights.
If
It's low
not,
lights, low lights, low lights, which means there's probably no shot coming off. 2 seconds, no safety off. Adafheyesh comes out swinging back again. It's 1-1.
yeah, it's now two spy wins on gallery, which gallery for 4 of 8 is pretty sniper biased, so good talk to the spies. That bug was just too powerful, though.
Yeah,
Really, it comes
that
down to
bug
it.
was ace.
I think maybe if we had a white test, there might have been more consideration for a shot, but it didn't appear from the sniper that they were ever really considering someone for death at the end of that game.
Banana bread.
So it's 1-1. Strong spy play all around. This is, well, if that's any indication, it's going to be a very entertaining set indeed. Beanie stepping into the spy side of Modern as Smallman.
Beanie's
Versus
got me giggling
Adafheyesh.
out here. Smallman, Modern is probably one of his least natural habitats. But it's Smallman. Shenanigans are definitely on the horizon, if anything, simply because you are Smallman on your
Let's
account.
see if Beanie is able to get some absurdity past the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Welcome to Modern. Probably the most similar to map 2 Gallery, in which we just did see 2 spy wins. The biggest difference here being the bar that we have now just started our attendance at.
It's not too dissimilar from a gallery turned sideways. Long walking paths. Not too much occlusion from other party goers, so.
Ambassador trying to
And
get us in trouble, but we do have the drink in hand, and it doesn't look like we've taken Smallman highlight just yet. Hello,
that's a
Mr. Seduction Target.
nice visit from the seduction target. You love to see stuff like that. A quick 51% on the flirt.
Yeah, we saw some 85s last game. With something big like Modern, it'd be really lovely to get the full flirt done. It really opens up for some true shenanigans. That's a really quick delegate, and then sitting
Ooh.
back down in conversation, because I think we realized we couldn't go past what would be the fireplace there.
That was a neat little maneuver because that's the kind of thing, if Adafheyesh sees it out of the corner of their eye, they're probably not going to think Smallman was actually properly in conversation until they landed in this spot.
Purloin's come off. Queen has taken the highlight immediately, indicating to us that they know we still have the drink in hand, which I would really suggest not having in hand. If the sniper is not really aware, they can sometimes just keep everybody who has a drink in hand up, and that's what they've done. All three of us in this back conversation, be it Alice, Boots, and Smallman, had drinks.
This is a lot of low lights coming off. We've got about 2/3 of the
Ooh, no,
party
no, no, no.
gone. There's the, well, little toggle on Beanie, which is interesting to see. Here's the second flirt and getting it done in 2 with 2 close green tests. So that's 2 out of 4 missions done. But man, oh man, we're down to what? 7 partygoers? 6?
Yeah, the early Purloin on Modern has two ways to win, right? You're obviously it helps you because you're halfway done with your missions here if you're Beanie, but also just the few people who are left are hyper suspicious. Someone might die on a banana bread. Uh, Queen leaving is precisely what we don't want to see though, because Queen obviously is top suspect, both being a highlight and obviously we know that she took the list.
Yeah, we are basically no longer allowed to do a
Banana
contact
bread.
here. Luckily,
Oh,
Queen
that's
in with
really
an
framing on
SDA.
Queen.
That is really, really lucky that there's that one person she's in conversation with is a suspected double agent, but gets neutral lit anyways because
Yeah, so
bit
the
of
way
a
that
weird
actually
setup.
worked out, so Queen walked into conversation and immediately talked, and the banana bread happened less than a second afterwards, which banana bread usually takes a bit of time, and Ada might have actually come to the conclusion that that would have been a bit too early. What a bug!
Oh, beautiful bug on the way through the back. I don't think Adafheyesh caught it. In fact, they did not. Shot comes off on an innocent, and Beanie, with a beautiful end to yet another spy game, finds a way through once again. The snipers have had no luck so far.
It just came out of nowhere. I was just chatting. I didn't realize that it was gonna happen, and the sniper definitely didn't. Just absolutely mugged the ambassador. Didn't have to like move any direction though and show our arm just fully perpendicular to the sniper, and we have a perfect path, right? Like we have an alibi. We're like, okay, we're going to this statue. This is where we're going. This is the correct path to the statue. Just everything about it worked out for Beanie, and I don't think they
We
really
didn't
saw it
even
coming.
set up for it. Like, that wasn't the intention when that path happened. The ambassador just sort of turned around on us and gave it to us for free.
Yeah, really good job for Beanie just to be heads up and go, I'm gonna take this bug in this spot, but if you pause it at like 103, it just looks like the ambassador's gonna rush past us.
Yeah.
And quickly, Beanie just puts the arm out. No real risk. I mean, most of the time that isn't going to stick, and most time it's not going to be seen. But that it has stuck has gotten us our third spy win in a row, and Beanie up 2-1.
Also, in the position that the sniper was, probably would have actually seen it if it weren't for Smallman hiding behind the freaking couch.
I've never seen the couch use its cover, and it could really only be done with maybe one, two characters. I'm not even sure Wheels would get away with it. Fantastic timing there from Beanie. Not that the timing was anything that he could plan for. It's that it was unplanned for that makes it so impressive.
Either way, it's been all spies so far, and now it's Adafheyesh in those shoes versus Beanie's sniper on Modern. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Goodness, that's how you win a game when there's only 7 people who aren't low lit. Just having a fantastic bug that nobody could ever see coming. We've redirected ourselves to the bookcase, which is a mission pad, but it's more or less the least interesting. We could do a chaos microfilm, but it was a bit late. Like you want to be doing those in the very first few seconds when they're
Didn't
still trying
even
to
try
find the
anything with the
ambassador.
book in the end.
Yeah, it's probably the best. I think we often get shot there. Beanie is quality.
Wound up in conversation with the double agent, and the seduction target dropped in to say hi. A green test from a distance gives us 31% on the flirt.
For anybody doing the math at home, 31% is a Tobo percent. Toboshi percent is where no matter if we just get white
Dear.
test, and it'd be two 34% from here, with the closest, that would put us at 99%. Obviously, the most Tobo percent is 99% itself, but we are going to need a green test for us to be able to complete our flirt in 3 flirts.
Kind of nice that we were able to get that one at all. But into yet another bookcase, this time the red one.
This is a bit self-framing. If we weren't seen in that conversation and say we could have been potentially considered if we took a book out and just put it in the red bookcase, we could have been considered that maybe we didn't see the animation at one or both of the bookcases. I don't really love this play as an idle situation. I would rather we just go to bar or go to windows, somewhere
Agreed.
else trying to set up for this flirt, because going to two bookcases without doing anything is in some ways asking for trouble.
Yet another green flirt comes off to bring us up to 70%.
Yeah, that was 39% in addition to our 31%.
Yeah,
70 is
these
a
have
good.
been like weird long range green test flirts. You usually don't see this kind of thing, but it's interesting. Makes it a
Ambassador was
lot more
buggable there,
difficult
but
to flirt
Smallman's
pair.
no cover. Sorry about that.
Makes it a heck of a
Uh,
lot more difficult to flirt pair, but it's not easy to do on this venue, anyways.
there's a lot of highlights in this party, and the ones that are highlight are doing things. I think General here might be top suspect just based on the fingerprint. I think this also has another fingerprint since the ambassador was there. A banana bread or a purloin that incriminates General might be a really quality play here for Ada, but I think we're still looking to mission complete here with our visit to inspect. 90 seconds on the clock.
Indeed. We are going to get a couple of inspects here. Seduction target makes this contact even more tempting by walking into the same conversation as the double agent. Minute and 20 on the clock. It looks like we're going to take him up on this. Here
This
comes
is
the
going to be
contact. It should come off
pretty
like
close on the flirt.
oh no!
Banana
General
bread.
steps away right before the contact comes off. It's gonna be a bug on the way out. There was a pillar in the way. He didn't get a look at it. Bug has come off, but the inspect isn't done. The flirt isn't done. That's only the second mission completion with 1 minute left on the clock. We have plenty of progress. This is still doable. I'm just very stressed.
We do take the highlight. I would definitely consider just taking the list here. That might be the whole idea of the play, is it's banana bread covering for a purloin, but we're the ones who take the purloin. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. We are just taking the delegate. We do also have half of inspects and most of flirt done, so we are in the way of potentially completing 5 missions if we want to. We definitely don't want to, but we can avoid doing inspects at least, which will probably get us shot if we were to gulp this drink.
There's the last flirt. 3 missions down, 20 seconds to play. Looks like we might be heading off. No, it's a delegate.
Double-edged sword here. It's to a low light. The low light's never going to get shot for the purloin, but it might not be seen, right? That's the whole benefit. The problem is we have 3 seconds on the clock. It's going to trigger overtime, and
It's busy
therefore the
at the
purloin's
bar,
going to be
too.
very obvious.
Might not get off in time. He does. There's the overtime. There's the shot, but it's the wrong shot. And once again, we go back and forth with the spy wins.
It was the right conversation. That is where Disney came from, and it was a highlight. If you look at 15 seconds, the delegatee, I guess would be the word for it, Disney was between two players who were highlight, who had drink in hand.
Banana bread.
It's just the wrong shot, in part because the bug was really well covered there by the banana bread, uh, meaning that we were only being credited for 3 missions and were only highlight for the inspect, which we never had to complete. Ah, that's a real pity. Can't take anything away from
That
the
bug,
spies, though. The
though,
spies have
that
been
bug was
fantastic.
incredible.
Yeah. Really, this game comes down to like 3 seconds, right? The whole purpose of doing a banana split bug is if it's seen, you're dead. You're like super dead. You've done a banana split, you've done a bug, you've done multiple incriminating things. But because you're doing them all in just a few seconds, you're really just putting the sniper to the test. Hey, were you paying attention for these 3 seconds? And then otherwise, you have to catch like a delegate purloin and notice the talk or something. It's pretty gross.
Either way, It's Spy wins all the way down so far. 2-2 is the current scoreline as we step into Tayen. Beanie's going to be the first one to pick up the Spy shoes in this venue versus Adafheyesh's Sniper in 3-2-1, playing it.
Yeah, I think Irish might actually be the most popular character ever since her creation. She doesn't have the most games played. That still goes to Alice, but Alice was around in the original batch, so does have more competitive games just as a result. People really thought that she is just low key good and really like the bug. Uh, there are better bugs, but if you have a better bug, you end up being a more suspicious character. 26% flirt and
26% flirt indeed. It's a slow
playing Tan.
start.
Personal question for you, Tobo. Have you played any TN yourself? I know you haven't actually really picked up Spy Party proper.
It's been quite a while. I have played some of this venue, though.
Good to
It's
hear.
Redwoods I haven't touched.
Ah, Redwoods. That's probably fair. With the amount of trees on Redwoods, if you're coming in and you haven't played in a year or so, it's gonna be rough. It's a map that takes a lot
Indeed.
of practice. Taeyan does too, but it looks like the sniper has a decent chance. Being able to see the statues, I think, is the biggest boon. So you don't get destroyed by a green or white swap.
76% on the flirt at this point, and it's a quick briefcase grab. Not able to hit the difficult fingerprint, though, unfortunately, so it's just going to be innocent briefcasery, and
Yeah,
only 2 minutes left to play.
the problem with difficult fingerprints on briefcases is a lot of things. You have to walk while doing it most of the time, which makes it a bit harder. You're going to get credited for the briefcase as just a full fingerprint, simply because people aren't really tracking if the briefcase is got a print on it or not.
Yeah.
It's rough. So I wouldn't suggest finishing fingerprints in this game. Oh, that's rough. That's
Oh, gets
really
caught for it, too.
yeah. Ambassador leaves right as we decide to do the bug. The arm just sticks right out into a gap. There aren't too many gaps to be watching on Tayen, so the laser's going straight through it, and the shot comes off. We do have our first sniper win after now 5 games. So congratulations to what will be Adafheyesh taking the lead, I think, for the first time in this set.
Indeed, indeed. Usually, sniping first feels like a boon because you're playing from in front, but not this time around, as Ada,
Especially on Tayen.
especially on Tayen. Man, it's been all backwards this set so far as Ada steps into the spy side versus Beanie's sniper now in 3-2-1, playing it.
No chaos has been done by anybody. I know we were near Toby there, and we were at the bookcase previously, but these guys are being respectful in the first few seconds of the game. It's not always the case, just generally in gameplay. Those first few seconds being absolutely chaotic are why we call it chaos time. Could definitely see a bug here. No, I'm just doing a bug path.
Bug path without the bug is not something you usually want to see. But we did get the one inspect and the flirt while we were at that statue, so it's not too bad of a start. This ambassador man just
Hmm.
constantly
We
way
should
too close
definitely
for
be bugging
comfort.
here. Yeah, that was actually in bug range with someone
It
through us.
sure was.
I would
Unfortunately, the way that arm would have gone when he hit that bug would have been into the sniper's line of sight.
Yeah, it was interesting. I got a bit grumpy because
God damn it, he did
Mom,
it
who
again.
was between us and the ambassador, left, but then it was immediately filled by Alice. I would say that Mom gives slightly more ability to hide the bug, but it may well have been seen. It's just bugs in general through people are very powerful.
There's another flirt to bring us up to 71%.
Innocent drink take. You don't see him that often,
Indeed.
but Adafheyesh is, I think, maybe leaning into just a slower game. And it's definitely viable on TN. People often do get shot on the first showing of a hardtail, be it a swap or a purloin.
This is a pretty nice looking contact. I'm a little bit surprised we haven't hit it already, to be honest, but Ada doesn't want it, just steps away, goes to say hi to the suspected double agent instead, but nothing doing as of yet. Not
Yeah,
a whole lot of progress with a minute and 30 left to play.
with the information we have, this is also be a good fake. Both the highlights in the in the party are in that front conversation,
There's so many
and
people in conversations.
SDA just came back to us, so now the fake will be slightly less good. But I don't see how we're going to be completing missions here in a smooth and fashionable way, just because we have no actual mission completion so far. I would definitely consider just doing a purloin behind the shoji and just seeing if or who dies. Hopefully not yourself.
Just cause a bit of chaos and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean the other option is like a swap behind the shoji, but if we like green test a
Oh.
swap here, for example, we get two missions done and someone might just get shot on the pickup. Uh,
Speaking of behind the shoji, there's the two inspects. We are, in fact, behind the shoji.
it's on
It
the
is a
second cycle
swap.
that we're
It
gonna be
is a
swapping,
white.
and nobody's been here. This should be a
Oh
shot on
dear.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. White test swaps not good for your health. 9 out of 10 doctors agree.
So we
Uh,
stay level after all that, in certainly not the way we expected to get here, but it is 3-3 going into library. Let's see what Beanie is able to do from the spy side against
give me a
Ada's
moment.
sniper in 3.
Give me a
Sorry?
moment.
Okay.
It was in a different folder. These boys were playing from Canada to New Zealand, which
Right.
means that uh, there might have been a bit of delay in the game, and more importantly, just any sort of distance can be a bit of trouble. Now on your count.
In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
We're playing Alice, another popular spy, and probably maybe the most popular on library in particular, just being brown and what is a very brown map and being quick on their feet are the two things that are really nice on this map. The other thing, if you're being a bit cheeky, is if they can hide behind a pillar successfully. Alice isn't brilliant for that because the ponytail will stick out a little bit.
Well, it's an early statue visit for a pair of inspects. No highlight for it, though. Not the start spies will usually take, just because quite often snipers will highlight for statues and spending an entire party glowing is less than ideal, but no highlight for this one.
Yeah, we did see a highlight avoided on statues on Gallery 2, but I think that was Beanie's sniper actually that resulted in it. I don't believe both these players are trying to avoid statue highlights, so someone's missed something somewhere in this set. This is a lovely green fingerprint, and because the ambassador is moving, we don't even have to like spend a lot of time doing it. Ambassador just walks right across our like I was gonna say bow, like we're a ship, but no, we're a spy. And
Yeah,
we get our first word on too. This is such a good start.
yeah, this is really nice. We've got the two inspects, we've got the 51% on the flirt just now, off that close green. Very quick little fingerprint at the briefcase there. It's a strong start indeed. It's not a super fast one, but lots of progress and lots of varied progress. So we're going to have a lot of options moving forward.
Yeah, Beanie's main job is if the ambassador ever goes to a fingerprintable statue, that's a spot where we could do 2 or even 3 missions if we also decide to swap it. And that could really end the game quickly. So we want to get this flirt done, uh, hopefully get a still good banana bread, and we could actually rush this game down really quickly. Now with the ambassador going to side statue, it's a perfect opportunity.
We want to get over there anyways to see if we can ambush the seduction target on our way in.
Double agent doesn't go into conversation, and our seduction target is trying to juke us and successfully does. They've gone to the window, we've gone to the bookcase. No love today.
What an absolute shame. 2 minutes and
Oh, come,
15
come
still on the
on.
clock. Plenty of time to work with.
I thought the second target was coming to us. I thought we were also going to stop there for the double agent, but it seems like we want to get our flirt done. We're not guaranteed the flirt
Come
finish by.
back here, you jerk.
Oh,
No.
we're trying to be protect. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. Taking a bad path to do it, and we didn't even hit the green anyways. Everything's awful. Love is fake.
Womp womp.
And we're gonna read a book
She
because
goes all the way back again.
we have in Specs in Pocket, and there's now two fingerprintable statues. I would not love this correct briefcase pick if we take it. And yeah, we're gonna do it. This is proper. Like we're meant to take this briefcase. But it's now two briefcases instead of doing a printable statue. And
Yeah.
accordingly, we get the highlight. Good stuff there from Ada to just correctly give a highlight for now what his fingerprint's done. And it's gonna make Beanie's job a lot harder for this microfilm, but just generally throughout this game too.
Well, there's the flirt done. 1 minute left to play, so this book needs to go down before we do the statue business. I still oh god! It was off camera! It was off camera. Everything's great. We're fine.
Over
Ada
real
was on
quick
the other end
after.
of the venue when we did the top tier shenaniganry.
That's such a bold move to do when we're talking about them already having like laser lag issues
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
know.
because of New Zealand to Canada. More or less across the world to try and do that on library in this situation. On Beanie's side, the laser looked like it saw it, but we're not dead, so Beanie has to have at least some confidence it wasn't seen, because if it was seen, we'd be dead.
Fake contact? No, but the book has been tracked.
Good stuff from Ada. Both finding the highlight there for the fingerprints, which isn't easy to do, and then shooting for microfilm, which was a long book take.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe had a bit more suspicion about the bug than the laser necessarily implied.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a very, very solid sniper game there against a very bold Beanie.
Oh,
But
the
now,
other thing that probably happened there, we did do the banana bread. It didn't actually end up counting because the double agent left right as it went off.
yeah,
But we were probably credited with even another mission beyond what we actually had.
indeed. Either way, it's time for Ada to step into the spy side of things, which has been, generally speaking, quite successful so far against Beanie's sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Kane, another popular pick. It's not particularly respectful, but we did see a cowboy pick, and cowboy's like the least popular pick previously, so I'll stop giving them a hard time about it.
Well, that's
Quick
because
book
he's
take,
so
but
often the designated ambassador.
yeah, he's considered pretty mediocre, and he's also the ambassador. It all adds up. We had this book. It wasn't like a really chaotic pull. We did give it a moment to not like make a full animation break. But it's also being hidden just by the fact that it's on our left side. No, it's no longer. We got things to do though. We got to go get our flirt started at least, and we'll see if it's gonna be 51 or 34.
That is indeed exactly what happens. It's a quick green test, nice and close for 51%. Still have that blue book in hand. Chances of it going back to blue, I'd say, are very low.
Absolutely. And
Well, never mind. Back to blue it goes.
that's interesting. I was taking a peek at the Spy's wins chances, and it at least a few moments ago with the delay, it was not particularly happy about the situation. Now it's okay. This is really a pretty pessimistic play to put the book back into blue,
Yeah.
but it's not a bad play. I mean, if we're just walking around waiting for our flirts anyways, having the book or not isn't going to change much. It's
Oh
just
god,
we
it happened.
accidentally get credited. Hey, it's 10%.
Just a little bit too far away.
That's
Oh, the reason that one hurts so much is it's entirely Ada's fault.
Oh, 100%. With the 51% to start, we just need to hit 49%, which isn't even that close. You don't need to be on their toes to get that. But
Green Purloin, though.
I do love a Rage Purloin, and it's a really good Purloin because the characters who are already in our conversation, be it Taft and Disney, had already been offered, and the ambassador was against the wall. So Toby's run away and is now offering to Twin, who's also behind the pillar a
That's
little
a
bit,
reject.
and is already highlit. So I think we're going to be not the top suspect for this Purloin reject.
Indeed.
And
And
another
more
reject there from
rejects.
Salmon.
This is going to be hard for Beanie to properly react to.
Yeah, I would appreciate if we like positioned ourselves to be in a spot where we could do another mission as the purloin does
There's the
go off.
purloin.
The book isn't particularly an interesting spot, and we're just putting it back. But we were holding something when the purloin went off, which might give us a low light in some situations.
Double agent steps away before we're able to get that contact, but we are able to finish the flirt, which should have been done earlier.
Yeah, three greens by the way. We greened our 1%.
Because why not?
It does help your statistics at the end of the day. You go, this Ada guy, he hits a lot of green flirts. But it's like, no, I just only hit the greens when they don't matter. Quick pull, and this is like our third book visit, and we've been to blue previously. This might be a bit confusing for the sniper if they'd missed a
There's
portion of
been
this.
so many bookcase visits.
Yeah,
Minute
but
and
this one we're
20
actually
left to
getting
play.
done,
This is
Tobo.
going to be a clean transfer, though. So that's 3 missions down. Minute and 15 left to play. Still have the contact available, still have the bug available. So there are some quick options. It looks like it's going to be contact first.
I was watching the spy side, and the laser, just as a natural way of coming around in the library, did sit on the middle of our back right as we put the book back. I think
And
Ada's
in the
a bit
red.
scared and probably assumes that they're a highlight at this point. It's
Pretty
four
good number
missions
of
though.
lowlights coming off out of that contact, but certainly nothing debilitating. 1 mission to play, 45 seconds to get it. It looks like it's going to be statues.
Middle
Center
statue,
statues
we're
as
not
well.
doing anything too clever with like a swap here at the end of the game. We're just gonna need to do enough greens, and the green on the first one's important to not do a 3 cycle and just get shot for an etiquette break.
Is
2 greens
Beanie
should
going
be
to be
enough.
willing to take this shot? There's 5 seconds. It doesn't look like they're even particularly thinking about it. They do
No,
swing
no, no, no,
back
no!
for it.
On my
There's
screen,
no way. It
too
says
late for
it says
sync.
took shot.
It was too late for sync, and it was on the moment.
Cyber shot too late for sync. That was like a second and a half.
That's brutal. So this is the issue that they were referencing to when they said that they were having a bit of issue with like laser lag and stuff was precisely these sort of situations. They both knew it, like, but too late to sync is the most brutal way to lose a sniper game since the gallery game where they knew the swap was happening and weren't able to see the swap and weren't able to take that shot. It's gone both directions this set, but what a brutal way to lose a sniper game.
Yeah, I know.
In the first one, at least, it was Beanie who got away with the swap, if I recall. And this one is Ada, so it's going both directions. And another spy win in a really tense situation has put us at maybe 5 or 6 spy wins, if my count's correct. Out of no,
It's
I
been
think
a
it'd be
lot.
5, right? Out of 8. Jeez. Another big map too. They're getting away with spy wins on things like library, and now we're on to Veranda with Adafheyesh. With a decent lead given how long the set's going to go. 5-3 here as we're coming to the tail end of the set is good. Being up by 2 at the beginning of the set, sure. Comeback's not even a comeback, right? But here
Indeed.
on Veranda, you expect to win your sniper game most of the time. We expect it to be 6-4.
Well, maybe less so in this particular match, but they are a sweep up, and that's always nice to see. Let's see how Beanie is able to respond in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I just think, but drink in hand. Sorry, Beanie. The luck has gone both ways for both players. Beanie doing very much a modern idea. I think this has only been around for a year or two. He's a very quick flirt in chaos, just to make sure that you can get your timer down. But both players have been a bit fortunate to win as many spy games, but they've been playing very well on both sides, and it's going to really come down to who can just clamp down on the snipers.
Yeah, those speedy flirts are always fun. Already in for a second, it's 68% off of a pair of close whites. So,
I would really
moving
like
quickly, but not hitting the greens.
I would really like to go grab that fingerprintable statue. I don't really advise early statues too often because they do often result in highlights. But we've seen people going to statues and not getting highlights throughout this set. and the ambassador got kicked off the statue really quickly, so it might not even be credited as a fingerprintable statue simply because he got kicked out due to a space violation.
And it's really nice to have that insurance of an early print throughout a game as well. It can make a big difference.
Yeah, if you're not doing prints on Veranda, like what are you doing? Three hardtails? It's something that you definitely want to have if you have the opportunity, and you usually have the opportunity just because the map is over 4 minutes long.
In conversation with the double agent now, trying to see if they can line up a nice contact here, but there's a lot of people on the move at the moment. There's a big conversation pretty full around the corner, but Beanie can't get a good look at it, so doesn't really isn't really sure what's going on in that side of the venue. There is a
Potentially
green
so
purloin
many
though.
greens.
Banana
If
bread.
Twin
There's the
rejects here,
contact to
it's
try to
going to go away
distract
too.
and a reject as well. So this could be pretty nice for Beanie. Another reject coming out of Smallman this time.
Yeah, this is back-to-back uh, purloins that were green that ended up framing a
Oh my
twin.
god.
Um, on Library, it was the twin who got the highlight for doing it behind the pillar. In this case, it's a banana bread kind of covering for like a BB purloin, but both twins have already rejected, and the chain just keeps on going
It just
with
keeps going. It's the
ambassador taking.
ambassador who winds up taking it at the end. There's the purloin coming off. What's the reaction
Are we
like?
gonna? Ah, I thought the drink was gonna come towards us. I was like, we could return this potentially. With the cast taking it, like the ambassador, it might also not be seen immediately, simply
That's
because the
true.
ambassador isn't going to be doing a white purloin. He's the ambassador.
Yeah, this is. That's almost a free mission for Beanie. Minute and 20 left to play. Contact done. Purloin done. We've got the one print off of a drink just now and 68% on the flirt. This is looking pretty strong on the spy side.
Yeah, I think it's a really weird spot for the spy to try and figure out what the sniper is thinking, because they could be anywhere from just really wanting to shoot someone to being really confused and just refusing to shoot anybody simply because there's just so much confusion. When a really good reject chain happens in a purloin, and it was covered by a banana bread at the time too. I don't think the sniper really has a chance of knowing what's going on, but you don't really know as the spy what that means the recourse would be.
Flirt is done. 33 seconds, two missions still to get.
This bookcase does have a print. We just saw the ambassador there, and it could also be our fifth mission. If we want to then immediately take it to the red, we need to do it soon though. We only have 20 seconds on the clock if that's going to be our game plan.
It's
Uh,
such a bad position on the clock. 15 seconds. It's gonna be overtime no matter what it. The like, what's the plan here? 8 seconds. Go, please. There's the bug, but it's not gonna be enough. The shot comes off. That was the just took too much time.
yeah, Beanie's endgame sense here has been fantastic throughout the set. But with 3.5 missions to go and 20 seconds left, the play is pretty obvious. You have to go get that print, and you have to go do the microfilm or slam it back in and do something like a swap or a bug if the ambassador is still in the area. Um, this whole just standing here and then doing what was ended up being a dive bug for our fourth mission. We're not going to have a fifth mission here anyways. Even if the shot didn't come off, we just don't have enough time. Beanie, in what was a really good game, in part because of a bit of luck with the purloin, just doesn't finish it off, and Ada is now up, I believe, 6-3. This set could almost be over. We might not get to see any balcony.
Yeah, indeed. It's
We might not
it's
get to see any ballroom if Ada wins this set, I believe. We play into 7, so uh, this could be match point.
indeed. Let's see if Ada's able to close it up here or if Beanie is able to keep themselves alive. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Throughout this tournament, both these players have been having close sets and been coming out on top. I mean, there's a reason they're in these quarterfinals. It's not. This would actually, I think, be Ada's biggest win if they can win this particular Veranda game. Not that Veranda's a particularly easy place to get a spy win.
Especially 5 of 8. It's just a lot of missions to need to get done.
We're playing Wheels, which is always an interesting character. We're set up for a bug position too. If the ambassador does come across us, we could get the reverse drive-by. That Toby's coming off to us is taking away that opportunity entirely. Ambassador had to go around Toby and was nowhere near our back for the bug that I think we're setting up for. There's nothing else in this conversation that we'd be doing otherwise.
Yeah. We spent quite a while there for very, very little gain, if any. So it's going to be out to the windows, quick green time ads to give himself a little bit more room to work throughout the rest of this venue, and right back where they started.
Yeah, if the time ad was or is going to be noticed, there was two people at Windows. It was us and Smallman. And if you want one person to be at Windows when you're doing a time ad, Smallman's that guy. Just in
Absolutely.
general, but Smallman's suspicious, but he also does have the really quick time ad animation, like the watch tech animation. So he does get a bit more heat in general for just being at Windows than any other character.
Dropped by the double agent real quick, but the double agent was having none of it. Very, very slow game from Ada so far. Still behind the clock. Like, we don't have a single iota of progress. Nothing has happened.
We're very close to being in bug range, and Eda has been pretty cheeky at times. He could twitch a little bit closer to allow for the bug, but beyond that, I mean, really, we could just commit to the Civ shot. It's not really a plan you ever really want to be doing on 5 of 8, but if you do banana bread, you do purloin, and you do like a few more time ads, you're gonna put a lot of stress on the sniper. I'm not sure it's necessarily in Ada's wheelhouse. We are just going in for the flirt here and giving ourselves some options.
It's our first flirt of the game, and it's
Our first mission
34%.
completion
I
of the
don't
game.
know if this is options.
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly do two more time ads and just annoy the sniper. Um, like that's my play, but I'm also Pwn noob. That's always my play. So, what Ada decides to actually do here is up to him. This is a trip to the time ad window. If it is noticed, you're going to get
Yep.
shot. He's only doing one too. It's a pity.
I was starting to think it might be a KCM fake timeout situation.
I don't think it works anymore. Last time I checked, and I check it fairly regularly, he hasn't reverted. We do need to pick up this briefcase if we're being proper, and it
He
is
does
uh,
indeed.
doubling our mission completion. We now have two halves almost.
It sounds so much better than it is when you say that.
Yeah, I mean, if
Oh
it's
dear.
balcony, right, that's literally like finishing contact. You
Yeah.
could bug and you'd end. We're not on balcony. This is veranda, which is about as opposite from balcony as it gets.
This is not two of, this is five of.
Really, I mean, if you're in this sort of situation as a player, my best suggestion is going and watching Toby more than anything. And if you see a couple of rejects, just jump in and do the purloin. Pay a bit more attention to if you can get like a really good fake banana bread, because you're not completing these missions very often.
Oh
Um,
god,
if
no.
you if you look at it, like the percent for the spy's winning chance isn't actually particularly low, at least on what I'm looking at on the delay. Because civilian shots are still quite likely, the chances that we complete missions here is dwindling very quickly, though.
Minute and 25 left to play.
This wouldn't be a
And
terrible purloin. Everybody in this conversation is either against the wall in General's case or is holding a book. Toby's going to go for a stroll, and we've missed the opportunity.
so who
And
are we
and
framing?
Smallman. We got lots of choices. There are a few highlights, and there's not very many lowlights. Um, and whoever picks up the swap potentially, if we can green test it.
I think it's gotta be an attempt. It is a swap, it is a white test. This is just not a good situation.
We've also matched the statues, which is a bit harder to mismemorize than other arrangements. And here comes the lowlights. We're gonna also probably eat a highlight here once he's done with those. There we go. Pretty sneaky one too. And there's no way we're completing missions, and I don't really know who's gonna get shot if we do the banana bread. It's probably us. I definitely would not suggest going into the known real conversation though.
Back into statues is not the place you want to be right now.
Yeah, if you're going to statues, you're committing to a later time ad at 0 seconds.
Well, it's not going to be any time at all because bullets have happened. So Beanie manages to keep themselves in this one, although Ada didn't put up a huge amount of fight in that spy game.
Yeah, I think we're seeing either nerves or just not having a huge like competitive backlog for both these players here in these Veranda games, because these decisions at the end of the game don't make that much sense. Both for like our context as casters where we have the full information, but even from their gameplay, I would have liked to see just a bit more of something. Because ending a game with inspect swap and nothing else with 6 seconds on the clock, this might be the only game in the whole like competitive directory that has that particular like sort of description. You'd expect to either have finished flirt or like why are we even completing inspects? Like you're just asking for a bullet here at the end of the game, and it was duly given.
Yeah. Didn't work out. Beanie's turn to step into the spy side. If they manage to sweep this venue, then they're able to force the over. Ada still with 2 match points, starting things off from the sniper side of Ballroom in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, they need to do three in a row and then preferably two more to end the balcony there immediately. Veranda sniping was the easiest of the three. Ballroom's been historically very 50-50. So if we're saying these players are equal, and it has definitely felt like that, Beanie's got about 25% chance, which I think if you told them after the being down 6-3, they would take.
34% off of this early flirt apparently jumps Spy's win chance up to like 60%, just getting an early flirt, so that's interesting.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean,
back down it goes.
if you think about both the situations where you're not able to get an early flirt, but also just the sort of players who aren't doing early flirts, the competitive directory of games where players aren't doing flirts early are probably some more novice players. Just generally, most of our best players are going out of their way to get early flirts. Beanie's been pretty adamant about his early chaos flirts too, with the quick leaves to give himself the opportunity. It's instead been a timer flirt, another 85%, probably our most common percent amount for competitive players. And otherwise, we haven't really done much. So the fingerprintable statue, if we want it later,
Yeah, that 85% flirt is quite nice to see. Making sure you get this progress early on.
this Purloin would actually
Let.
be quite good.
Yeah,
Toby's
indeed.
going to do some really weird things here.
Getting the early flirt progress, of course, a bit less consequential on this particular venue than some others, but flirt is now done and dusted after a double timer flirt, and then it's into the center statues at the back. That was a lot of time taken actually to get those flirts done, but we still got plenty of time to work with. Minute and 30 left to play as we finish up the inspects at the center statues. So that's 2 missions down, 2 to go.
By the way, if we had purloined when I said we should purloin, there's still the reject chain going, and Toby has walked across the map 3 times.
Jesus Christ.
Here comes the actual drink take. That will give our sniper a bit of relief from trying to memorize everything, because this was a very stressful time, especially with Beanie at middle statues, right? Like if Beanie's also doing the swap, everything's just going to absolute haywire. Instead, now the sniper can relax a little bit and wait. I probably for a banana bread. It's going to be our next
Banana
mission.
bread.
There's the banana bread, but it's a fake this time around. Beanie had set up to try to get a real one, but the double agent bailed, and Beanie decided to have a go anyways. Unfortunately, that little light Smallman, so.
So many green tests from
Ooh.
Beanie. He's been
Speaking
absolutely on
of,
fire
it's a
this set.
purloin.
It's
Oh
going to
no,
be
it's a
the
very quick
SDA who
take.
takes here. Yeah, this is going to be rough. It means that it's a chain of us, but the SDA taking might give us a bit of cover.
Haven't been able to get a good look at that tray yet. There's another take. Now sees the list gone. The shot comes off, but it's the wrong one because he wasn't able to get a good look at that list earlier. Didn't see that the list was already gone by the time Boots took it. Oh no!
I think we got absolutely paid off by the fact that Cowboy was an SDA. If he was a suspect, I think we would have been rotated prior to the take by Cowboy. And once Cowboy took, Toby just hid the list for another 10 seconds until Boots took. And we're like potentially out of the chain, right? Cowboy took, which means it's no longer in the chain in our sniper's mind a lot of the time. The shot in Boots makes sense. She was already highlit too here earlier in the game, I believe, for statues. So from the sniper side, you can't really feel that bad, uh, but you've dropped the ball a little bit. Also, it was fake banana bread for both Boots and Seek. The mission count might have been slightly off for our sniper.
The party giveth and the party taketh away. Now Beanie within one game of forcing overtime. Ada, though, with one more match point, this time from the spy side. And this particular match, the spy side might actually be favored. It sure is in the spy win percent chance. Let's see
Yeah,
what Ada's able to do here in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
yeah. Given the way the set's gone and you're on Ballroom, I think Ada's still in the place that you want to be for this particular game. Not the place you want to be for this particular set. You were in a comfortable spot. You're up and just needed one of three match points to win the whole set or set points, and now we have one. Uh, you might get more in the future if we go to balcony, but you don't want to do it. You want to win on Ballroom. A good 51% flirt here potentially. Let's do it. Hitting the greens. It's so much easier to hit the first green than it is the second.
Yeah, sure does feel that way. Less pressure on the first one. 51% is the start that every spy covets.
I think the star that spies cover is a chaos bug, but I think this is a good compromise.
This one's more by the book. And there it is. The white test on the second, because you've got a bit more pressure now, so it's harder to hit that green. 85% on the flirt right now. But Ballroom is not generally a difficult venue to flirt on, so it's almost certainly going to be a complete non-issue.
Yeah, we've been a minute into this game, and
Oh, hi!
yeah, we're gonna finish this flirt. Um, the party's been really boring as far as I can tell. Just everybody's been in conversation, but the banana bread hasn't actually happened.
Well, not boring anymore. It's a white purloin. Guest list is gone. Beanie got a good long look at it too. I think they know what has gone down, but very little reaction, interestingly.
You can like potentially just count the sips here as Beanie. That was a watch check break, which is completely unnecessary. Um, because Ed is in a really tough spot. Like if we are trying to actually just finish this drink like an AI would, we're gonna commit to what is gonna be a three mission frame game. If we just do the banana bread and hope someone else dies, I'm not sure. We didn't take a highlight for it's the one benefit.
It looked very much like Beanie got a good look at what was going on with the list, so you have to assume that they're just have it in their head who their suspects are and are keeping a watchful eye on them without spending too much time low lighting. But now that we're starting to see some low lights coming out, now that the contact comes off,
Yeah, the
I'm
lowlights
not
came
so
off right
sure
as the
anymore.
contact happened, and it actually ruined their alibi lowlights. They didn't take lowlights on people who were out of the conversation, like Rocker, because they were like not in that mindset at all when it happened. This could actually be game set match if this bug lands and
The
it's not
bug does
shot.
land! The bug lands, but so does the shot! Beanie able to hold on to take it to balcony.
Three matches in a row, a lot of spy wins, and we move on to what is uh, lovingly called the coin flip map of balcony. Because it is so spy favored, it ends up being very close to 50-50, if not just actually spy favored. I think
Oh
Beanie
boy.
has a huge momentum lead, though, right? Like, if you're Adafheyesh, you do not want to be here, and I think Beanie probably isn't particularly anything like close to relieved, but is going to be the happy camper here that we've made it to balcony at all.
Yeah. Absolutely. Beanie has had a mountain to climb, and by God, have they climbed it. Now, starting overtime from the spy side versus Ada's sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Got to be the best character on balcony too. Your orange dress, you have fantastic bugs, both walking and standing, and you're not really disabled due to the slowness of the character because it's balcony. It's not like all the big maps that we've been playing, where if you're playing orange dress, you're taking 10 extra seconds to get anywhere.
Yeah, very, very different situation all of a sudden. Although Beanie would really, really like to have already had that first flirt. 50% on the first one is nice to see, though, because it means they're in two flirt range, because they're going to be a little bit behind on the clock if they're not able to get it.
Beanie's been so hot on their green tests that I would not be surprised if they just pull off 3 greens here. We're gonna have to wait till a few people get into the conversation before the banana bread's really considered, and with the briefcase out there, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. But Beanie could really just close this out if they can continue just keeping their nerve and hitting the green test they've been doing so
It
far in
is,
this set,
it is so hard to shoot for a 3 green balcony.
especially when it's seduction target coming to us just like they did. We have
Absolutely.
another set after this, Topo. We have to cast more.
45 seconds. There was no action priorities. He did a walking bug by
Obi!
accident. We
Obi,
weren't
go!
paying attention. There's the contact coming. It's just the ambassador who's out. There it goes. 30 seconds to play. We have to hit this green test on the flirt. That's the only
Literally
way.
everybody in this conversation was talking during that banana bread, though.
Yeah, that banana bread was nuts. The shot comes off. It's the wrong shot. Advantage Beanie.
Yeah, we're playing like tennis. We can get back to deuce if we can get another another spy win. But Beanie's now won 4 in a row, and it's Ada's spy who has to pull it back and needs to win one. They've done it 6 times. They've shown us that they can do it, but it hasn't been for a while.
Man, SpyParty, though, can be such a mental game. When you've lost this many in a row, it's very easy to get in your own head, and that is not a good place to be on balcony. But
Yeah.
on the spy side of things, you get a little bit of reprieve. This is man, you got to stop the bleeding. This is your last chance to do it. Beanie now has a match point of their own from the sniper side. Let's see how they're able to make it happen in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Oh, I'm stressed.
Really nice path there, just going straight to our second target. If we hit the green here, it should be another 49, 50%. Something that we can definitely work with. 50% is perfect. It's not even 51%, which I think is actually optimal, because you're
Agreed.
not like on their toes.
It's as far away as you can be while still being able to get this green double green timer flirt.
Yeah, you can do the 49 into 51, but you can't like timer flirt it, which we might actually get away with if our seduction target cooperates, and we just want them to stand here with us this whole game. It's already 1/3 done. It's balcony, only 70 seconds, 75 seconds on the clock, and we need the double agent to come into conversation here too. We just want to have a good BB, all things considered.
This venue gives so little time. There's
What
the
a
flirt
weird path to
cooldown
boot.
expired. There's the next flirt. It's a white test, 84%. We do still have time to get this last flirt off because the first one happened fairly early on. Any flirt will do. Doesn't have to be close, doesn't have to be green, as long as it's a flirt.
Banana bread.
There's the contact coming off. Let's off a low light.
Based on the timing of the talks, I mean, there was 2 people talking. It was also Salmon, but we're the one who really looked like we did a banana bread, and now we're 3 flirting. I think Ada's win chances are going to be a bit lower. That was a Twitch next to the ambassador without the bug. If that's ever seen, that's very suspicious.
Yeah, that was a huge camera shake, too. You can tell Ada did something they did not want to do. In your own head is the worst place to be. 15 seconds. Here's the flirt. Flirt has come off. Does Beanie take the shot? Beanie does take the shot and comes all the way back to book themselves a place in the semis.
You're not going to have an easy out as you go into the semis. Beanie's made every set close here, including this one, and it's overtime. It's about as close as they can get, and they did it by winning 5 games in a row to end it. Congratulations to Beanie. Uh, just absolutely stressing me and Tobo out before we have to cast another set. How dare you? But GG's.
Oh my god, what a start. What a start to the night.
If the other set is as stressful as this, if it goes into overtime or anything, I mean, you've survived so many stressful sets previously, but at some point you got a breaking point, right? Whew.
I have a strong heart. I'll be all right.
I don't, and I'll be all right.